Never Death Row Production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, the next heavyweight champion of the world.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome on back. It's the Empire. I'm your host Risky. It is the first of the month, June 1st. Looking back at yesterday, didn't drop a video Saturday night. Was over at some family's house watching that OKC Spurs game. I looked down at my time. Next thing it was 1:30 in the morning. I said I'm gonna go find my bed. But look, you guys already know the rules. It's on to the next one. It's the first of the month. Let's get this thing going right now. We got a smaller slate here today. Only 9 games on tap. Guys, Outlier Sportsbook. The link is down in the description. Sign up with them. The first week is free. Also, at the end of the video, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, first game up, we got the Tigers in Tampa Bay taking on the Rays. We got Ty Madden on the mount for the Tigers. We got Griffin Checks on the mount for the Rays. Alright, getting into this one, we got the Detroit Tigers in this game. They continue to play terrible this season. They're now 2-8 in their last 10 games played. They come into this game with the worst road record in the majors. They're 8-24 on the road this season. Today they have the young pitcher Ty Madden on the mount. He's been primarily working out of the bullpen up to this point, only 11 innings pitched. This will be his first start up to this point. Today he's going to be seeing a Tampa Bay Rays lineup that's batting .261 versus right-handed pitching on the year. They're slugging .398 as well. When we do overall too, this Rays lineup's been playing very good offensively in the last 8 games. They're batting .268 in their last 8 games played, slugging .420 in the last 8. When I do the matchup here today for Madden, for one, it says that he's throwing the fastball 29% of the time. It's only because of the small sample size. When I looked at his numbers in the minors, he's going to be throwing this fastball over 45% of the time. The fastball is sitting around 96 miles per hour. Every once in a while, seeing that 98, 99. His other 2 primary pitches is the cutter and the sinker. The sinker he throws is a really good pitch. When I do the matchup here today for him though, this Tampa Bay Rays lineup matches up very well against him. The main guy I focused in on was Yandy Diaz, but Junior Caminero is well matched up well against him. I can see both of them having a good game here today. I'm expecting Madden to go about 5 innings, give up 3 runs, turning it over to a Tigers bullpen that also continues to play terrible of late. I don't like the arms available here for Detroit. I'm expecting them to come in and give up another run or 2. On the other side, we got Griffin Checks on the mount for Tampa Bay. He's looked solid this season. He's made 6 starts up to this point. He's looked really good, comes into it with a .360 ERA. Another thing I really like about this guy, he doesn't walk batters. He's only had 1 game out in that Toronto game where he walked over 2 batters. In that game, he walked 4 batters. Outside of that, it's 1 batters or less he's walking a game. He's a contact pitcher, pitches for a lot of pop fly outs, a lot of ground outs. This Detroit Tigers lineup is towards the bottom in all offensive categories. When I look at the numbers, for one, this team has a .309 on-base percentage this season versus righties. In their last 8 games played, they're only batting .210 versus right-handed pitching. They continue to play very terrible offensively. Looking at the matchup here for Jacks, like I said, contact pitchers throwing that slider, fastball, sinker combo, seeing the changeup as well. I'm expecting him to have a good game here today. Go about 5 to 6 innings where he gives up a run. Nothing too crazy. I could even see him shutting out this Detroit Tigers lineup for 6 innings, turning it over to a Tampa Bay Rays bullpen that also continues to play very well. They are a bit taxed, but they still got some good arms available here today for them. Looking at the weather, for one, it's down in Tampa Bay in the Dome, so no real weather to sway anything. But when we look at the park factor for this Tampa Bay ballpark, they're towards the top of the league in offensive categories, especially for right-handed bats. Right-handed batters are having a very good time here in Tampa Bay. We see Caminero and Diaz having a good season down there. Let's get to the picks. The Rays are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I like them here on the run line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the over 7.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Diaz of the Rays for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Marlins in DC taking on the Nationals. We got Alcantara on the mount for the Marlins. We got Cavalli on the mount for the Nats. Alright, getting into this one here, we got the Marlins. They come into this game riding a 5-game losing streak. They just got swept by the Mets. We were talking about road records with the Tigers having the worst road record in the majors. The Marlins have the second worst road record. They come into it with a road record of 8-19 this season. They're going to be playing a hot Nationals team. They just won the series versus the Padres. They currently sit second in the NL East standings. Today we got Sandy on the mound. He's looked terrible in his last few outings. Against the Braves, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 runs. Against the Blue Jays last week, his last outing, pitched into the 6th inning once again, gave up 8. He's had a few blow-up starts this season. Early April, gave up 7 to the Tigers. Early May, he gave up 7 to the Orioles once again. He's mixing some decent starts in between. The one thing I've been paying attention to with Sandy all season, his hard hit rate's always been above 42%. It's never dropped below 40. Coming into this game, he has a hard hit rate of 48%. Today, he's going to be seeing a Nationals lineup that all year has been one of the better offenses. On the season, they're batting .237 versus righties, slugging .419 in their last 8 games played. This Nationals lineup is batting .250 versus right-handed pitching, slugging .480. Sandy Alcantara, his velocity is down on his pitches this season. Sliders topping out around 92, 93. Sinker around 89, 90. Those are his 2 primary pitches. This Nats lineup kills low velocity pitchers, especially with his pitch mix. Not to mention, he's going to be seeing 7 left-handed bats here today. Sandy struggles versus lefties. I'm expecting Alcantara to go about 6 innings, give up 3 to 4 runs, turn it over to a Marlins bullpen that's really taxed coming into it. I don't like the arms that's going to be available for Miami here today. I see them coming in, giving up a run or 2 in this game. On the other side, we got Cade Cavalli. This guy's looked really sharp for the Nationals this season. Comes into it with a .360 ERA. Last 2 outings against the Mets and the Guardians pitched past the 6th inning, and both of them gave up 2 to the Mets, 7 innings pitched. And his last outing against the Guardians pitched into the 6th inning, only giving up a run. Today, he's going to be seeing a Marlins lineup that has been hitting the ball very well, especially versus right-handed pitching. They're batting .247, slugging .377. Granted, this lineup for the Marlins is going to have 7 to 8 left-handed bats in the order here today. Cavalli does struggle versus lefties. I could see him having one of his worst outings in a while. The last few times he saw this Marlins lineup, he pitched 5-6 innings in all of them, gave up 2 runs. I could see him having a similar game here today, if not giving up 3 runs. The Marlins bats have been playing well of late. They are batting .250 in their last 8 games played. Looking at Cavalli's pitch mix, for one thing I really like about Cavalli, the strikeout numbers have been really going up for him. The walk numbers continue to be really low. Like I said, I'm expecting him to go 5-6 innings, give up 3 runs here today, turn it over to a Nationals bullpen. That's still one of the worst bullpens in the majors. I'm expecting them to come in, give up a few as well. Looking at the weather, it's going to be about 75 degrees throughout, about only 7 to 6 mile per hour winds blowing from the outfield into the diamond. When we look at the park factor, this Nationals park is a very offensive friendly park. They rank 2nd overall in the season. They're very friendly to right-handed bats. Let's get to the picks. The Nationals are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking James Wood of the Nationals for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Royals in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. We got Avila on the mount for the Royals. We got Chase Burns on the mount for the Reds. Alright, getting into this one here, we got the Royals coming into this game riding a 6-game losing streak. They've been playing absolutely terrible of late. Today, it's going to be really a bullpen day for them. They got Avila opening up the game. He's pitched 21 innings up to this point, has an ERA of 5. He's going to go one time through the lineup. He's going to pitch 3 innings, go to the rest of this Kansas City Royals bullpen. Still one of the worst bullpens in the majors. Looking at the matchup here today for Avila, like I said, he's going to go one time through the lineup. Contact pitcher, pitches for a lot of ground outs, pop fly outs. There was 3 guys that really match up well against him. That's Lowe, Belday, and Stewart. Granted, there's no Ellie De La Cruz in the lineup here today. He got injured in yesterday's game. I'm still expecting this Royals lineup to get a few runs here today off of both the opener Avila and all the Royals arms that come out of this bullpen. Like I said, I'm expecting them to have a good day overall. On the other side, we got the Reds ace this season, Chase Burns. He's looked dominant. He had that one bad start against the Angels early April. Ever since then, look at all these outings. He's been having some really good starts, comes into this game with a 169 ERA in over 10 starts made this season. He's a 3-pitch pitcher, which right now I really like for him. He's throwing 3 really good pitches. Granted, it's the fastball topping out around 100 miles per hour, then that slider and a changeup combo. He's at his best when he's working the Ks. Has really good strikeout numbers, averaging 11.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, a very low walk rate, only averaging 2.5 Ks per 9 right now. When I look at the matchup here today for him, there was 2 guys that I really focused in on that I could see them having a good game today. That's Bobby Witt and Jansen. Other than that, I could see... Now, here's another big thing too that you got to pay attention. This Kansas City Royals lineup is not a strikeout team. They do not strike out a lot. They are a contact team. Granted, like I said, the offense is bad, but they make a lot of pop fly outs, a lot of ground outs. The Cincinnati Reds defense is going to be down one of their best defenders in Ellie De La Cruz. That can work against Chase Burns here today. I'm expecting the Royals team to get a run or 2 off of him. Nothing too crazy. Looking at the Reds bullpen, just like what we said about the Royals bullpen, they've been one of the worst pens all year. I'm expecting the arms to come out this bullpen, give up a few runs here today. Looking at the weather, it's going to be about 75 degrees throughout. Small gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. When we look at the park factor, Great American Ballpark right at the top of the league in offensive categories, especially for lefties this season. They rank number 1 in the majors. Let's get to the picks. The Reds are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Nathaniel Lowe of the Reds to hit a home run today. Up next, we got the Giants in Milwaukee taking on the Brewers. We got Landon Rupp on the mound for the Giants. We got Doran on the mound for the Brewers. Alright, getting into this one here, we got the Giants who won their game yesterday in Colorado, which helped them avoid getting swept by the Rockies. The Giants are now 3-7 in their last 10 games played. On the other side, we got the Brewers. They're 7-3 in their last 10 played. Today, we got Landon Rupp on the mound for the Giants. He's been their best starting pitcher this season. Over 10 starts made, 3.30 ERA. He's looked extremely sharp. One thing I like about Landon Rupp, has a very good walk to strikeout ratio, averaging 10.5 Ks per 9, only 3 walks per 9 innings coming into it. Another thing I like about Landon Rupp, he's a ground ball pitcher, throws the sinker primarily, comes into this game with a ground ball rate of 37%. One thing that does worry me for Landon Rupp, he does struggle a bit versus lefties. He's going to be seeing 6 left-handed bats in this Brewers lineup here today. The Brewers have been swinging the bats very well of late. They're batting .248 in their last 8 games played, slugging .408 as well. Looking at Landon Rupp's pitch mix in all his matchup here today, I can see him having another solid outing where he goes 5 to 6 innings, gives up a run, if not 2, but nothing too crazy. After that, this Giants bullpen to come in. They've been playing very well of late. I'm expecting the arms available for the Giants to come in and shut the door on these Brewers bats. On the other side, we got the left-handed pitcher Doran opening up the game here today. He's going to go one time through the lineup. After that, Chad Patrick will come in, be the primary pitcher. Chad Patrick, ever since they put him in this role where he's not starting off the game, but they have the opener for him, then he comes in after that. He's been looking much better overall. The one thing that's going to benefit Chad Patrick, he's going to be seeing a Giants lineup that's still one of the worst offenses in the majors. Especially the fact that in yesterday's game, they put up close to 20 runs in Colorado, now having to travel here today to Milwaukee. I can see Chad Patrick having a good day against this Giants lineup. Looking at the Brewers bullpen, they continue to be one of the best bullpens in the majors, especially here in the month of May. The Brewers bullpen's been playing very well in over 25 games played here in the month of May. They have a bullpen ERA of 4.05. Looking at the ballpark here today, the ballpark factor, it's down in Milwaukee, so there's no weather to really sway anything, but this Milwaukee home ballpark, it's been a very pitcher-friendly ballpark all season, especially for right-handed bats. Right-handed bats are struggling in this ballpark this year. Let's get to the picks. The Brewers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 7.5. I got this a 4-1 game. I like the under 7.5 total runs here today. For the player prop, I'm taking Christian Yelich of the Brewers to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Rangers in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals. DeGrom on the mound for the Rangers. We got McGreevy on the mound for the Cardinals. Alright, getting into this one here, we got the Rangers and the Cardinals. Both of them have been playing extremely mediocre, especially here in the month of May. The Rangers come into this game 4-6 in their last 10 played. The Cardinals are 3-7 in their last 10 played. Today they're going to be seeing Jacob deGrom. He hasn't looked sharp recently. His last 3 outings, well, you know what, his last outing against the Astros, pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. That was a good start, but he had 3 blow-up starts here in the month of May. Against the Yankees, pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 runs. Then the start against the Angels, pitched 4 innings, gave up 6 runs. Today he's going to be seeing a St. Louis Cardinals lineup that's batting .239 versus right-handed pitching, slugging .389. In their last 8 games played, we've seen the bats cool off a bit. They're batting just .230, slugging .380. Looking at the matchup here for deGrom, he really matches up well against this Cardinals lineup. It's 6 left-handed bats. He has good splits versus lefties. He has a good ground ball rate as well this season. I can see deGrom coming out here today, going about 7 innings where he gives up a run, turning it over to a Rangers bullpen. Still one of the best bullpens in the majors. They're rarely rested coming into it. I like the arms available for the Rangers late in this game. On the other side, we got McGreevy on the mound. This guy's looked really sharp this year. Over 10 starts made, .298 ERA. He's coming off his worst start of the year against the Brewers, pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 runs. The start before that as well, he did look rocky in that game against the Pirates, pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 in that one. But we see he's had some really good outings, faced some really good competition this season. Looking at the matchup here today for McGreevy, he's going to be playing a very poor offense in the Texas Rangers. Granted, over the weekend they had a really good offensive series, probably their best offensive series this season up to this point. They are batting .241 versus right-handed pitching, slugging .396. I can see McGreevy, a guy that we talk about all the time when he comes out here and pitches, a guy that really throws his entire pitching arsenal. Another guy that has a very good ground ball rate. It's at 38% coming into this one. I can see McGreevy going about 6 innings here today where he gives up a run, if not 2. The big determining factor and what's going to sway this game is going to be this Cardinals bullpen. They've been extremely terrible here in the last week played. In their last 8 games, the Cardinals bullpen has an ERA of .560. I can see them coming out here today, giving up a run or 2. Looking at the weather, it's going to be 80+ degrees, but we're going to have 5 to 6 mile-per-hour winds throughout, blowing from the outfield into the diamond. When we look at the park factor here, this Busch Stadium, the St. Louis Cardinals home ballpark, has been a very offensive-friendly ballpark up to this point. Let's get to the picks. The Rangers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 8. I do like the under 8 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Jake Burger of the Rangers for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Colorado Rockies in Los Angeles taking on the Angels. We got the left-handed pitcher Kyle Freeland on the mound for the Rockies. We got Soriano on the mound for the Angels. Alright, getting into this one here, the Rockies on the road again. They continue to play terrible. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games played. The Angels are 6-4 in their last 10 played. Today we got Kyle Freeland, the left-handed pitchers on the mound for the Rockies, comes into this game with an ERA above 8. His last, since the end of April, this guy's been getting lit up in all of his outings. He's actually been much better this season in his road games compared to his home starts. Granted, his last game was on the road at Dodger Stadium, pitched 4 innings, gave up 8 runs. Today he's going to be seeing a lineup that isn't as good as the Dodgers, but an Angels lineup that has been hitting left-handed pitching very well this season, slugging .400, batting .232. Granted, the bats have cooled off a bit recently in their last 8 games played. This Angels lineup batting .228 as a unit, slugging .390. When I do the breakdown here for Kyle Freeland, he has terrible splits versus right-handed bats. He's going to see 5 really good righties in this lineup here today, 5 power-hitting righties. In this lineup, Kyle Freeland is averaging 2 home runs per 9 innings pitched. Looking at the matchup for Kyle Freeland, I should say, he's throwing the fastball primarily, mixing in that cutter and the slider. 2 pitches that's been killing him this season. They've both been really hanging. They've both been getting hard hit rate, high barrel rate, I should say as well. Kyle Freeland's hard hit rate on the season's at 46%. I'm expecting the Angels lineup to get 3-4 runs off of him here today, turning it over to a Rockies bullpen that's incredibly taxed coming into it. I don't like the arms available for the Rockies. I think they're going to come in, give up another 2 to 3 runs here. Looking at the other side, we got Soriano on the mound. He actually, man, he killed me last week. He ruined our 3-leg parlay. We had an easy win. He came out, shit the bed, gave up 3 runs to the Tigers of all teams. But other than that, in the month of May, he really didn't look good. He had 1 good start against the Blue Jays. He gave up 6 runs to the Dodgers, 5 runs to the White Sox. When I do the breakdown here for him, for one, he's going to be seeing a lineup that really hasn't been playing that well recently. The Rockies are batting .245 on the season versus righties, but we've been talking about it the last few days. Ever since Moniak went down, the numbers for the Rockies lineup has really dropped. They're batting .227 in their last 8 games played, only slugging .390. Looking at the matchup here today for Soriano, this is a spot where I'm expecting him to get back right. He matches up very well against this Rockies lineup. I can see him coming out here today, going about 6, if not 7 innings, giving up a run. Nothing too crazy. The Angels bullpen, still one of the worst bullpens in the majors. I'm expecting them to come in, give up a run or 2. Looking at the weather here today, it's going to be about 75 degrees throughout. 6 to 7 mile per hour winds blowing from the outfield into the diamond, favoring the pitchers a bit more. Looking at the ballpark factor, this Angels home ballpark this season has been very pitcher friendly. They rank towards the bottom of the league. They're actually the 3rd lowest in the majors coming into it. Let's get to the picks. The Angels are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the over 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Jorge Soler of the Angels to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Dodgers in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks. We got Emmett Sheehan on the mound for the Dodgers. We got the left-handed pitcher Rodriguez on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Alright, getting into this one here, the Dodgers have been really playing some good baseball of late. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games played. The Diamondbacks as well, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games played. Today we got Emmett Sheehan on the mound for the Dodgers. He's been rocky this season, comes into it with a .470 ERA, is coming off a good start against the Rockies where he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs to start before that, pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs to the Padres. Today he's going to be seeing a Diamondbacks lineup. They're only batting .234 versus right-handed pitching on the season. In their last 8 games played versus right-handed pitching, this team is batting .247, slugging .405. They've been crushing the ball of late. Looking at the matchup here today for Emmett Sheehan, he's a fastball slider combo pitcher, mixing in a changeup every once in a while. Right now, Corbin Carroll has been crushing right-handed pitching. Corbin Carroll matches up very well against him. I can see Carroll having a very good game here today off of Emmett Sheehan. I can see Sheehan going about 5 to 6 innings, giving up 2 to 3 runs in this one. Turning it over to a Dodgers bullpen. They've been playing alright of late. They've been a bit mediocre, but I like the arms that's going to be available for the Dodgers to come in and shut the door on the Diamondbacks here today. On the other side, we got Rodriguez on the mound. This guy's been amazing for the Diamondbacks this year, .230 ERA. He had 2 bad starts mid-April against the Orioles. He gave up 4 runs. Then against the White Sox, he gave up 4 runs. But in the month of May, he was dominant. But when we look at the competition he was playing, he saw the Rockies twice, the Giants, the Mets. None of these teams are hitting left-handed pitching anywhere close to where this Dodgers team is hitting lefties this season. They're batting .257 versus lefties, slugging .440. Looking at the matchup here today for Rodriguez, for one, he's seen this Dodgers lineup in the past a few times. There's a few guys that really have some decent numbers against him. Hernandez, as well as Freeman, really had some good past games against Rodriguez. He's a ground ball pitcher, pitches for a lot of contact. Right now, I think that's going to really work against him in this game. Not to mention you guys got guys like Pajas and Muncy really hitting lefties well this year, especially for power. I could see Rodriguez having his worst start of the season, where he goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs here today, turns it over to a Diamondbacks bullpen. They continue to be mediocre. In their last 8 games played, they have a bullpen ERA of .460. I see them coming in this game here today, giving up a run or 2 as well. It's down in Arizona in the Dome, so no weather to sway anything. But when we look at the park factor, this Chase Field, the Diamondbacks home ballpark, has been very pitcher friendly this season up to this point. Let's get to the picks. The Dodgers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the run line. The game total set at 9. Oddly enough, I got to say 6-3 game for the Dodgers. I'm technically saying the over 9 just to be safe. I could see possibly the Dodgers bullpen having a worse day than I project, and then it'll really go over 9, but if it goes down to 8.5, really jump on the 8.5. If it goes up to 9.5, just stay away from it. But for now, I like the over 9 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Andy Pajas of the Dodgers to hit a home run today. Final game of the day, we got the Mets in Seattle taking on the Mariners. We got Warren on the mound for the Mets. We got Hancock on the mound for the Mariners. Alright, getting into this one here, we got the Mets, who just came off a very good series against the Marlins, traveling across the country to Seattle to take on the Mariners. You never like that spot for any team, when they gotta literally travel across the country to the other side. Today, the Mets are gonna have Warren on the mound, who's been one of their better relief pitchers all season. Today, he's going to be working as the opener here for the Mets. He's going to go one time through the lineup, pitch 3 innings. After that, the left-handed pitcher Manaea is going to come into the game. Looking at the numbers for Manaea, for one thing you don't like for the Mets already, they're having to use 2 bullpen arms realistically here today, putting their bullpen at a big disadvantage for the rest of the series, in my opinion, as well. But in this game here today, with Manaea on the mound, he's really not been that sharp out of the pen for the Mets. Last year, when they had him in the starting rotation, he looked bad. There's a reason they had him coming out of the bullpen to start the season. Looking at the game here for Manaea, J-Rod and Arozarena has been crushing left-handed pitching, as well as Luke Raleigh. This Mariners lineup towards the top of the season was really struggling with lefties. They've been coming along of late. I could see this Mariners team getting 2 to 3 runs off of the combination of Warren and Manaea. The back end of this Mets bullpen, they're still really good. I could see them coming in this game, shutting the door on the Mariners' bats. On the other side, we got Hancock on the mound. This guy's looked extremely solid this season. His last 3 outings, 18 innings pitched, only 3 runs given up. He's going to be playing a Mets lineup here today. On the year, they have bad numbers on the season versus right-handed pitching. They're only batting .230 versus righties on the season, but in their last 8 games played, the Mets bats have come alive. They're batting .255 in their last 8. But in this ballpark here today, traveling cross country, I can see the Mets coming out sluggish. Hancock having a really good game. Not to mention, he matches up well against this Mets lineup. Besides Soto, if he could pitch around Soto, I could see him having a really good game where he goes about 6 to 7 innings, gives up a run or 2, nothing too crazy though. Looking at the weather here today, it's going to be about 75 degrees, close to 80 with wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Looking at the park factor here, usually this Seattle ballpark has been a very under-friendly ballpark. Granted, the game totals are always set very low in this ballpark. This season, we've been seeing a lot of overs this year. This ballpark's close to the top 10 in overs this year. Let's get to the picks. The Mariners are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 7. This is another situation like we was talking about in that Dodgers game. I actually got this game 4-3 for the Mariners, so I got it exactly at 7. I lean towards the under a bit more. Maybe the Mets bats come out a bit more sluggish than I'm expecting, so I lean towards the under 7 total runs. But if it goes up to 7.5, definitely jump on the under. For the player prop, I'm taking J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners for 2 total bases today. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. Our first bet will be our ladder play. Today we're restarting at a $10 bet, and we're taking the Los Angeles Angels on the run line. We're getting them at plus 104. This is our ladder play of the day. Up next, we have a 2-leg home run parlay we're playing here today. We started off with Jorge Soler of the Angels, and we wrap it up with Andy Pajas of the Dodgers, a $10 2-leg home run parlay. Next up, we have a 3-leg parlay we're playing here today. We started off with the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. We're then going to play the Cincinnati Reds on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Texas Rangers St. Louis Cardinals. Game total to go under 8 total runs. And our final bet of the day will be another 3-leg parlay. We start this one off with the Giants Brewers. Game total to go under 7.5 total runs. We wrap up the parlay with the Dodgers on the money line and the Seattle Mariners on the money line. Once again, guys, before we get up out of here, I just want to send my salutes out to you all. It's the first of the month. It's Monday. Let's get this week started right. Let's get this month started right. You guys know I appreciate you all. I respect you all. I hope we all win some money here today, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.